Kyotopia podcast away. Yokoso! Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Kyotopia podcast episode. This is a bilingual podcast where we speak both English and Japanese, and we talk about Kyoto topics and Japan topics. My name is Micah, and joining me as always is the lovely Yuko Sensei. Yay!
はい、皆さんこんにちは。マイカさん、
はい。
今回何回目でしたっけ？忘れちゃった。
今回は47だと思います。
あ、47。はい。いいですね。
この間の祇園祭りのエピソードは46だったから、今回は、はい、47。もうそろそろ40じゃなくて50になりますね。
わーい。
So we gotta do something special for the 50th episode to commemorate the achievement. So Yuko Sensei, recently in Kyoto, at least last night and the day before, it's been crazy. ザーザー雨降ってましたね。
そうそう、こんな時こそ前回のオノマトペ、雨のオノマトペが大活躍しますね。昨日の夜の雨はどんな感じでしたか？オノマトペで表すなら。
ザーザーじゃなかったの？
ザーザー。
ザーザーだったでしょ？
もうでもなんか
ザーザー。ずっとザーザーですよ。まあ、昨日は全部なんか、so sometimes yesterday it would be like suddenly ザーザー for like a few minutes, and then it would just go back to just sprinkling, and then no rain. パラパラ。
そうね。
Yeah, and then しとしと、and then ザーザー。It would change a lot.
で、あとはゴロゴロ。
ゴロゴロ。Lots of ゴロゴロ last night. A lot of thunder.
なんか最近昨日もそうだし一昨日とかなんかこう、夏の天気らしいといえばそうなんですけど、この夕方とか夜にかけてザーって降ってきて、そっからゴロゴロゴロゴロって雷が鳴って、落ちない、多分落ちてないと思うんですよね。
そうね。It was mostly up in the clouds.
そう、ゴロゴロ鳴ってて、昨日夜中かな、私夢かなって思ったんですけど、なんか雨が降ったり止んだりして、なんか変な天気でしたね、とにかく。
Yeah, it was like a typhoon. It was like typhoon weather.
そう。で、マイカさんのお家ね、屋根のほら雨の音結構響きますか？Yeah. 寝てる時とかどう？
it was just loud. I mean, because of the thunder and everything, and it was really, really heavy. Yeah, I could hear it.But I'm also was nervous because I'm up on the mountain now, so I got the warning about the landslides. ね、landslide 日本語でなんて言う？
ランドスライドは土砂崩れとか土砂災害、土砂崩れで、土砂は土に砂の感じで土砂、これが崩れる。
I see. 崩れる。Yeah, to crumble or to break apart.
そう、私も、ね、
so I was worried about that.
思いました。私のこの京都駅の近くなんですけど、私も警告電話でね、ピーピーピーってアラートが鳴って、全然逃げないし大丈夫だったんですけど、こう山の近くに住んでるとこういうアラート鳴ったらちょっとドキドキしますよね。
Yeah, it made me a little bit nervous because I just moved recently and I'm up in the mountains now, so it was the first time. And I was thinking about that the whole time. It's been raining a lot recently. I was like, oh man, I hope I don't die in my house. マイカさんの借りたばかりのお家が流される。 Yeah, that would be very tragic. But yeah, so it's been really rainy, which is odd because the rainy season is, the normal time for the rainy season is long gone. But it was weird this year. The climate has been...very strange.
そう、でもね、なんか昨日私の韓国の友達と話してて、韓国のカンナムっていうところでも100年以上前、100年ぶりぐらいにすっごい予想以上の大雨が降って、でそのお家がね浸水して壊れちゃったりとか、人が流されたりとか、すごい今までになかったそういう気候になってるらしくて。
Yeah, I mean, probably just signs of global warming. So.
気候変動、そう、地球温暖化の影響ですよね、
そう
これも。
But, yeah.
9月はさ、ほら、台風の時期じゃないですか、日本って。
そうでしたっけ？
そう。だから9月ね、8月末から9月にかけては結構沖縄、メインなんですけど、あとは関西で言ったら南の方、和歌山とか、あっちのね、南側を台風が通ることが多くて、で、そう、飛行機がキャンセルになったり、いろいろね災害が起こったりもするから、
Yeah.
ちょっと。
So you're saying there's going to be more crazy rain next month here in Kyoto we can expect, maybe?
雨というよりはやっぱりその台風の、風で、一回ね4年か5年ぐらい前に関西の大阪に台風が直撃した時があったんですよね。でその時に公園の木が倒れたりとか車が倒れたり自動販売機が倒れたりとかすごいひどい被害になった時もあったんでそう、今年はそうならないように願ってますけど。
そうですね。みんな気をつけましょう。All right. So before we get into today's main topic, we're going to talk. What are we talking about today? What's our little segment you got for us, Yuko Sensei?
はい。今日のミニセグメントは生活音。
生活音 This is, we did this a while ago.
そうね、昔にやってあの時は私が用意してマイカさんにクイズを確か出したはず覚えてますか？
そうね、ちょっと覚えてるんですけど、だいぶ前だったから We had a whole episode of the 生活音 So 生活音 everybody for our listeners is 生活 is like life or everyday life and then ong is from oto or sound so sounds of everyday life we in a previous episode we shared various iconic sounds from Japan and tried to see if we could guess what they were or if we recognized them and also for the listeners to see if they were able to figure out what they were so I guess as a mini segment we're going to do that again with a couple new sounds which Yuko Sensei has prepared for us
はい。
Stepping it up
一つはシーズナブルなものです。
Okay, seasonable.
ちなみに
That's a hint. That's a big hint. Thank you.
セミじゃないですよ。先に言っとくけど。
それはまあ前セミ
あったっけ
We did
セミ
semi
しましたっ
before.
け
Probably. It's
そ
very
うしかも
typical.
セミ分かりやすいしね。
そうだね
じゃあスタートします。
お願いします。
ここで。
Okay. I got it. Yeah. Oh, okay. Wow. All right. This is obviously a
待って。
はい。
Thinking time.
I do not know the actual Japanese word for the things that are making the noise, but it's obvious at a temple of some sort or shrine, and there's a bell. They're hitting the bell, and there's like wind chimes too.
あ、そうですそうです。はい、そうです。ウィンドチャーム日本語で風鈴ですね。風鈴。そうですそうです。で、普通はねこんなに大量にならないんですよ。普通は風鈴は家の玄関とか窓の近くに1個だけ飾って、で本当に小さいチリンチリンっていうオノマトペだったらチリンチリンってなるんですけど、これはいろいろな神社に風鈴がたくさん飾ってあって、それが風でなびいて、一斉にね全部一緒に音が鳴っているのが今の、チリンチリン。
いいですね。ちなみにどこの神社それともお寺でしたか？
これはねどこか近所のお寺です。結構ねいろんなところでやってるみたいですよ。この風鈴をたくさん並べてその音を楽しむみたいな。でタイミングよくお寺のゴーンっていう鐘が鳴りましたが、このねちなみにマイカさん風鈴持ってますか？
あ、持ってますよ。
あ、持ってるんだ。
はい。
私今年買いたかったけどダイソーに行って100円の買おうと思ったら売り切れてて買えなかったんですよね。そうだから風鈴欲しいなと思ってるうちに夏が終わりそうです。はい、ということで今のは風鈴でした。
Okay.
そうです。Amazon とかでも買えるんで、もしよかったら皆さん風鈴買ってみてください。
I think that one was pretty easy, even if you don't live in Japan. Yeah, it's wind chimes and the sound of the bell is pretty obvious. So let's see what the next. You have one more, right?
はい。
Okay, I'm ready.
じゃあ行きます。
Got it.こ
れはね、日本 本に住んでた人だったらなんか懐かしいなこの音って
なるかもね。
思ってるかもしれませんが、ちょっと考えてみてください。Thinking time.
All right. Shall I reveal the answer? Because I'm very confident about this one.
なるほどなるほど。はいはい。
This is the crosswalk noise for 信号 or like when you're, what do you say?
横断歩道。
Yeah, 横断歩道. Yeah, so when it turns green and it's time to walk, this is the sound you hear. Beep boop, beep boop. What's the onomatope for this one? What would you say?
いや、これはね、オノマトペはないけど。
But まあ自分的には What would you do to mimic? 真似すると
同じか名前か。ピッピッピップピップ
ピップ
ピップそうね。これはなんか鳥の鳴き声を表してるみたいで、なんかカッコーっていう鳥がカッコーカッコーってなったら、だから日本語で言ったら多分カッコーかな。
I see. So it's supposed to mimic a bird. There's a lot of that in the train stations too, like for blind people, they make different sounds of birds and things so you can hear.
っていうものもあるし、なんかねいくつかあるみたいなんですよ。で、横断歩道は結構メロディーが鳴ってるものもあるんですけど、最近はこのもうちょっとシンプルにそうピッポーとかチュンチュンっていうこの音に変わってきてるらしいです。とにかく
I also heard that because the bird sounds, some of the birds get confused. And they will come and like cause problems.
誰かが呼んでる。
Yeah.
それはあるかも。格好がね集まってくるかもしれないですね。
Yeah.
でもこういう道路でのこの音って結構日本 only in Japan なのかどうなんでしょう。アメリカでさこういう歩道橋
Yeah, there's noises, but they don't use like nature sounds. But I'm sure there's different like areas in America, different cities where maybe they use more creative sounds.
More creative.
I don't know. Like this is probably depending on the district and the city and whatever they decide to put their money into. But I don't have any memories of Ohio of there being any sort of creative sounds, bird sounds or something like that when it comes to yeah. I don't remember, and I'm sure it's changed since I've been there. It's been a long time since I've lived in America. So, listeners at home, if you live in America or whatever country, your respective country that you live in, for the blind people crosswalk sound, share it with us. Let us know. It'd be really cool if we got a bunch of different sounds that we could share on the next episode. This is what it sounds like in Brazil. This is what it sounds like in Spain, or whatever.
そうね。それもボーナスエピソードでやってもいいかもしれないですね。
Yeah, so let us know. Get in contact with us. You can find us at kyotopiajapan.com. There's a little link for email, so you can send us a message there. Let us know.
とい
Yeah.
うことで2つ目はそう歩道橋の横断歩道を渡る時の音でした。
Yay. Thank you very much, Yuko Sensei. And I will try to share some maybe in the future for a future episode. Yeah. All right. Well, moving on to our main episode for today, which is なんでしょう。
なんでしょう。今日はちょうどお盆の時期なので
Yes, did you notice what I'm wearing today? I did it on purpose.
そのためにか気になってました。もしかしてパジャマのまま
It's a combination of the two. It was I still had my pajamas on, but then I was like, oh, we're doing Obon
ちょうどいい
like
そうね、
Natsumatsuri. So I'm wearing a for those of you who are listening only, I'm wearing a jinbei, which is like a Japanese male kimono with short pants.
ジンベエめっちゃ楽ですよね。
Yeah, the material is very dry, so it's like if it's very comfortable to wear in the humid Japanese summer. And this is what the sort of things that people wear when they go to summer festivals or they go to Obon festival. In Japan, also yukata, of course. Yukata is the one that's long, more like a traditional kimono or dress. But the jinbei has the short pants.
そうしかもすごい楽だからさ家の中でも着られるし、でコンビニ行ったりとかお出かけにも使えるし、はい、とても
No, I don't go outside with this on for sure.
本当？
No, I don't. I'm too embarrassed because I'm a foreigner.
似合って
If
ます
I
よ。
was if I was a Japanese person, maybe I don't know. Sometimes if I'm feeling really lazy, I don't care, and I'll just walk outside. But usually, I I don't wear the traditional sort of clothes when I go outside.
なるほど。まあとにかくね、今ちょうどね、今日レコーディングしてるの18日だけど、
はい。
お盆がちょうど終わったところですね、マイカさん。
そうなんです。So we're talking about Obon, which is a Japanese holiday in the summer. And what is Obon? What is the kanji for bon?
盆
Yeah.
漢字はね、あれ、なんて説明したらいい
It's like-
盆は、この盆地とかの盆。
Yeah. Like
バ
a
レエ
bowl.
とかのそうそうそうそうボウとかあとほらトレイ料理を運ぶ時のトレイもあれもお盆っていうんですけど、これはなんかもともとね語源たどったらこのお盆ピリオドにそのご先祖様とかお客さんたちにこう食べ物を運ぶお供えする時とかお料理提供する時とかに使うトレイ、これがお盆で名前が来たようですが。
So, how do people celebrate Obon in Japan?
そうね。まあお盆ってもともとそのだからご先祖様亡くなった方々がちょうどこの時期にこの私たちの世界に戻ってきて挨拶しに来るからおもてなししましょう。まあそうね、ご先祖様をおもてなすセレモニーというか時期で、別にまあ特別になんかそのお祭りするとか何か特別な料理を作るというよりはもうちょっとこうファミリーイベントみたいな感じかな、どちらかというとまずはお墓参り、そのご先祖さんのお墓に行って、まあ、お墓掃除してお花を供えて挨拶をするっていうのと、あとまあうちでするんだったらもう本当に家族とか親戚がちょっと集まってで話して一緒に食事をしてでそのお仏壇とかを飾ってっていうそれぐらいかな。はい。そんなに特別なイベントはないですね。
Right, so Obon holiday is basically for the ancestors. The idea is they call their dead relatives to come back and visit their home. So they may do this, they may practice this by just going to the relatives' grave sites and washing the gravestone and replacing the flowers and things like that, or taking care of the household altar. The household altars, what do you call those? Butsudan. And basically the idea is, the ancestors and relatives go into the spirit world once they die. And so it's this sort of 3-day period where they invite the family to come back and visit. So often families will come together at that time and sort of think about and take care of the grave sites and things of their past relatives.
そうそう。多分日本以外の国でもこういうお盆的な行事はあると思うんですけどね。例えばメキシコの死者の日でしたっけ？です。
What is? I don't
なんか、
I don't remember.
同じような感じだけどメキシコのさお祭りってもっとパーティーっていう感じのこう派手な盛大にお祝いする感じだけど、それに比べたらこの日本のお盆のシーズンってまあ休みになる、会社とか仕事が休みになってであとはもう本当に家族行事って感じなのと、あとは場所によって田舎の方と都会、例えば東京とか大阪で一人で暮らしてる人とか特にではやっぱり全然過ごし方が違うと思うんですよね。例えば私が子供の時におじいちゃんの家に毎年親戚で集まってでそこですごい綺麗な飾りをねその仏壇の周りにしてでお坊さん、仏教のそのお寺のお坊さんにお家に来てもらってで念仏っていうのかな唱えてもらってっていうすごいこうセレモニーとしてやってたんですけど、でも 今はそうね、まあコロナっていうのもあるし、なかなかこう帰れない人もいるだろうし、普通にお盆だけどこう何もせずに家で過ごすっていう人も、まあ今は多いんじゃないかなと思います。
Right, so Yuko Sensei was just talking about her personal experience growing up and how she celebrated Obon and how it's kind of case by case with families. And recently, not just because Corona, but because of the times things have changed a little bit. But when Yuko Sensei was a kid, she used to go to her grandparents' house, and her family would come together there, and they would, decorate the butsudang or the household altar of their deceased relatives, and kind of come together and spend time together during that time. Also, Obon Yasumi, they have a lot of holidays in this time for people to usually go home to their hometown and spend time with their family. But like the past couple of years, because of Corona and stuff, people are not doing it as much, maybe. But Yuko Sensei, I was also reading online when I was preparing to talk about this episode that depending on the region in the area, the dates, the 3 days for the Obon holiday are different.
あ、なんかね、私も見ました、それ。
Yeah, there's like, what is it? 7月盆 and 8月盆 and 9月盆. Kyubon or whatever. So I guess originally Japan followed the lunar calendar, but then it changed to the Gregorian calendar. And because of that, different regions started to celebrate the holiday in different times. So some people practice it in July, some in August, and some in September. So yeah, in your case, in Kansai and Osaka, when is Obon usually held?
まあ、私が記憶してるのはもうレギュラーお盆8月のこの、時期だったと思います。多分ね。ただその長さとか、例えばさ、会社によってそのお盆休みをもうちょっと長くするとか、そう逆にお盆休みない会社もあるし、まあそうね、地域とか会社によってその休みの日数とかは変わってきますよね。はい。
Yeah, so there's also there's the beginning day and then the ending day. There's the what is it? Mukaibi?
はいはい。
Right? That's the first day of Obon is when you're sort of inviting the relatives, the dead relatives to come back to your house. And then the last day is Okuribi. And so Okuribi, there's a special day in Kyoto called Gozan no Okuribi, where it's the last day of Obon, and they're sending off Okuru, they're sending off the relatives to go back into the spirit world. And they do a really cool thing to sort of symbolize this. Some of you probably have heard or seen photos of this before, but there's a famous mountain in Kyoto called Daimonji-yama. And
favorite spot.
Yeah, it's a really good spot in the daytime or nighttime to climb up and see a nice view of Kyoto. But there's a bunch of lanterns which make the shape of Dai, or the kanji, the Chinese character for big, which is why it's called Daimonji. And they light it up. So at night, around 8 o'clock, Daimonji gets lit up, and there's a huge burning kanji of big in the side of the mountain. And it's really impressive. It's really cool. And I actually got to see that for the first time a couple nights ago. Because... Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
いや、あの日でもね、結構雨降ってましたよね。
Yeah, actually, it's a crazy story. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to go because the plan was to go. But then it started to rain crazy around 7 o'clock. It started to rain.
ザーザーっと降ってましたよね。雷も鳴ってたし。
Yeah, and the schedule was to... I looked on the website. It starts at 8 o'clock. That's when they're going to start lighting Daimonji. And it was raining. I was like, oh my gosh, I guess I'm not going to be able to go. But then it stopped about like 10 minutes till 8.
すごい。
So then...
これは
Yeah.
奇跡、ミラクルです、ね。
Right, but I was home, so I was like, okay. So then I got on the train and kind of went as quickly as I could to Demachi Yanagi, which is kind of a main area where you can see Daimonji very well. Right on the Kamogawa, where the river splits into two rivers, right there is where most people go to see Daimonji during this Gozan no Okuribi.
出町柳から見えるんだ。全然知らなかった。
Yeah, it was amazing. That's where I went, and there was tons of people there.
山の近くまで行かないといけないのかなって思ってたんですけど、鴨川のところから見えるんだ。へえ。
Yeah, so the area that you can see is at least Daimonji is like around Kamogawa River between Muramachi and Misano bridges. So anywhere around there you should be able to see. And it was crazy. Like, it was the first time they've done in 3 years because of Corona. And there was tons of people there. For those of you who are watching the video, I'll share some of the video footage that I took. You can see how crowded it was and what it actually looked like. But it was great. I was really impressed. The kanji was much prettier than I thought it was going to be. Like, I thought it was going to be a little bit more, I don't know, rough looking, but it was very pretty. Also, it's not only Daimonji. It's called Gozan no Okuribi. Gozan is 5 mountains. So they light up 5 mountains around Kyoto with different characters and shapes. So there's 3 of them that are kanji characters. And then there's 2 of them that are just familiar shapes. So Daimonji, the one that I was just talking about, which I'll share with you in the video, is the kanji for Dai, which is big. And then there's one on Nishiyama. Was it Matsugasaki? And it's the kanji for Myo. And Myo. Like Kimyo, I guess.
そうね。奇妙。妙ですね。
Yeah, it means like strange, wonderful, like fantastical or something
or
like that.
Mysterious.
Yeah. And then whole, like maho no whole. So there's like magic and mysterious magic kanji written in the side of the mountain. So around Daimachi Yanagi, that main bridge, you can see on one side of the bridge, you can see the hole on the mountain.
そっちも見えるんだ。
Yeah. On the other side, you can see Dai. And I tried to take video of it. I was walking while I was taking video, so I'll share that, and you can see what you can see. But then there's Funagata, which is shape of a boat, which is on Nishigamo Funayama. And then there's Hidari Daimonji, which is another one with a big dai on it. And finally, there's Torigata, which is the shape of the tori, like the shrine gate that you'll find at many Shinto shrines and Japanese temples and things like that. And that's on Mandara-san. Now, they start lighting the mountains up at 8 o'clock. The first one is Daimonji. They light that up at 8 o'clock. And then they start lighting up each other mountain in 10-minute intervals. I'm sorry, 5-minute intervals. So it's 8.
結構じゃあもうトントントントンってテンポよくついていくんやね。
So it's 8, 8:05, and then 8:10. 8:15 is the boat, Funagata. And then 8:20 is Hidari Daimonji. And then finally is the Torigata. And then they're all lit all up together and for 30 minutes.
ああ、なるほど。じゃあその最初につけたその大文字の大が消えてしまうのがだいたい30分したら消え始めて、そこから順番に。
That's right. So they all light up in 5-minute intervals, and then they're all lit for a while, and then they start to go out each. So because it's all around the mountains around here, it depends on where you are. You can't see all of them at the same time.
全部は見えないってことですよね。
Yeah.
例えば空から見てたら全部綺麗に見えるけど、普通に例えばね、こうフォローしようと思っても追いつかないですよね。
Right.
その場所。
Right. So if you go to the Wikipedia page for Gozan no Okuribi, it gives you a list of what areas you can be at to see the different mountains.
なるほど。
But most people just look at Daimonji because there's so many spots around Kyoto where you can actually see Daimonji. So that's probably the most popular one.
そうですよね。
Yeah. But it was really cool, and there was lots of people, and it was really pretty. But it was very short. You know, you just see it, and it's like, wow, you just kind of admire it for a while, take some photos for Instagram, and then head on back home.
そっかそっか。
So you didn't go see this year, Eagle Sensei.
と聞いてそうなん
I
です
mean,
よ。
it was raining really crazy, so
そうそうそう。
I think a lot
雨
of people
降っ
canceled.
てたし、そうなんですよね。なんかね、ちょっと忘れてたっていうのもあって、そういえば今日だったなーって、でもきっと雨降ったからキャンセルになったかなって思ってたけど、無事に開催できてよかったです。でもさ、マイカさん、もし本当にね、大雨が降った場合、キャンセルされるんですかね。
So I looked on the main
気がつかない
website for
よね。
Gozan no Kuribi, and it said the recent update on the day that it was supposed to happen. It said, we're going to do everything on schedule. There's reports of rain. If it rains, it may be delayed a little bit. Blah, 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 blah. And then when it was raining like crazy, I kept checking the website, but I think everyone was checking it because it would not load. So once it stopped raining, I just got on the train and tried to get there as quick as possible. So I was about 15. I got there around like 8:15, 8:20. And I think all of the mountains were lit up at that point. And it was really, really cool. And then, after that, after everything's all finished, the next day and tonight, you know, I'm living up in the mountains kind of where they'll get all lit up. And like we talked about in the beginning of this episode, it's been raining and thundering and storming like crazy. So I like to think that we woke up the mountain gods with... 3年ぶりだったから we haven't done Gozan no Okuribi in a long time. And then all the Shinto gods in the mountain have been woken up, and they're sort of showing how impressive their powers are by
なるほど。でも確かに
yeah.
それはあるかもし
But
れ
it
ない。
really feels like that, because like it's been thundering and raining up here in the mountains, and it's like right after it started right before they lit up the fires, and then after they lit up the fires, it's been raining and thundering like crazy the past 2 days. So I think something has been stirred.
なんか意味があるのかもしれないですよね。
Yeah. So I hope we haven't angered them. I hope they're just trying to show off a little bit, which I don't mind.
Say hello ってみんな
Right.
こんにちは3年ぶりだね
Yeah,
みたい
そう
な挨拶してるのかもしれないし、
そうだね
まあ何か意味があるのかもしれないですよね。そっかそっか。いやなんかね、見てみた。そもそもどこで見られるのかなって思って、まさかその鴨川のさ、その通りから
Right.
見られると思ってなかったから、来年は見に行きたいなと思います。
Cool. Well,
ね。
is there anything else you wanted to add about Gozan no Kuribi or Obon holiday?
じゃあ最後に一つだけ、
はい
マイカさんお盆の時にね、きゅうりと
All
ナ
right.
スビになんかこう爪楊枝みたいなスティックを刺して飾ってあるのを実際どこかで見たことありますか？
見たことないと思うな。なんか I read about this. So something with cucumbers, and they make little statues out of the cucumbers for some
そ
reason.
うそうそう。あれも実はお盆の時にする、その飾るものの一つなんですけど、私多分子供の時にはもしかしたら見てたかもしれないけど、最近大人になってからはあまり見たことはないんですけど、ゆうこリサーチによりますと、きゅうりが何だったかなごめんねどっちかがね、そのご先祖様が帰ってくる時、きゅうりが馬を表してて、
Right.
ご先祖さんたちのこの魂が帰ってくる時にこう乗ってくる。で、
Okay.
ナスビが牛を表してて、今度は帰る時にその牛に乗って、ゆっくりと帰っていくみたいな、そういう意味できゅうりが馬、ナスビが牛
Okay, so
として飾られる
let me
みた
say
いな。
that.
かわいいよね、ちょっと。
Yeah, so also during Obon, people will make little horse statues, or they'll just use cucumber. And the cucumber is supposed to represent a horse. And then they have eggplant And sometimes they'll cut them and shape them into a cow, but sometimes they just let the eggplant be there. And I guess when the spirits come from the other world during Obon, they come in riding the horse, so they can ride the cucumber horse in here. And then when they leave on the cow or the eggplant cow. And they ride the eggplant cow back into the other world, which is kind of cute and delicious. Yeah, that's interesting. I have not seen that, though. And you said that you saw it a lot when you were a kid. You have memories of seeing this, but recently as an adult, you haven't seen very much.
そうですね。もしかしたら神社とか、お寺とかね、行ったらどっかで見られるかもしれないですね。まあでも、なんか、この祇園祭りも含めて、五山の送り火とかも、本当にこう、私たちが日頃こう忘れかけてるそういうトラディションに、日本の伝統的な行事をこう京都はこうやっぱり守って続けてくれて、でそれが例えば今の若い世代とかこうインスタグラムでシェアしたりとかでそういう感じでこう広がっていって、いいなと思います。はい。
Interesting. All right, so that will do it for today's Obon Festival Gozan no Okuribi episode. Let us know what you think. You can contact us on Instagram, or I'll put all the links as always in the description of this episode. Thank you everybody for watching. Yuko sensei, 本当にありがとうございました。
いえいえ、こちらも勉強になりました。マイカ先生、五山の送り火について詳しくなりましたね。
All right, so that's it for today, and until next time.
ほなまたね。
バイバイ。
バイバイ。